We are interviewing Veta for the Slavic Immigrant Artists in the Northwest project. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Veta, Bakhtina. Should I give a kind of an intro?
Sure, would you like to tell us a little bit about your art?
Yeah, certainly. So, I'm an oil painter. I've been in the Pacific Northwest for 15 years. I just moved to Oregon from Washington 3 years ago. And right now we're in Crow's Nest Gallery, which is partially the reason I moved here to Toledo to be a part of this gallery. And I have my studio space here. I would say that specifically my heritage used to be the primary focus of my subject matter. But at this point, because of just the growth that I've done, I believe that my heritage is very much ingrained in the stylings, the colors, and some of the subjects that I choose, but not as didactically as before. So, yeah.
Great. What brought you to the Pacific Northwest?
So we immigrated to Colorado in the 90s, and I was just looking for something else. I don't think I ever really felt like fully at home in Colorado, even though it's a lovely place. But I came here for, I don't remember why, but I know I can answer that very clearly why I came here to Oregon. Is through friends of mine and through Janet Runger, who is the owner of this gallery. She's also from Colorado, and I was doing some business kind of work in Washington. I was managing an art supply store, and when that was done, I moved here and started painting at the gallery. I had a kind of a similar space in Washington, but yeah, I came here because of friends from Colorado.
Where did your family migrate from in Russia?
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
So a lot of my work and my past paintings you'll see is, I call them internal landscapes, partially because of, my immigrant history and sort of just bringing treasured landscapes with me from where I, holding them dear. But I kind of convey that as, my landscapes are inside these characters. And right now, this is a new concept for me. I think of this as a portrait. Perhaps this one is just a study, but I've taken it to this is a work in progress. And here I'm essentially creating a self-portrait through light, and the landscape will be painted on this vase. I sort of think of these chalices as a metaphor, or maybe just a projection of the human experience, what colors are important, what colors are oracally there. I'm sort of thinking about doing that with houses, because I have a lot of houses that are a repetitive theme in my work, and I sort of think of houses as people. If you kind of look at how somebody lives, or what objects are there, you can sort of see oh, do I feel harmonious, or are my things piling up, or what are the textures, and things like that. So that's the current project, but this is a part of a bigger work for me, not just the telephone game, because I'm really interested in doing potentially portraiture of people, although I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I would like to kind of do that as an interior design, and so just create harmonious living spaces by utilizing color and subject matter and interior murals.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There are a little body of work that is called Paths, and This one is called Walking Through the Woods, I Saw a Row of Houses. This one is called the Raspberry Brambles. This one is called Path, and this one is called The Attic. And these are paintings I did a fairly long time ago about sort of like a memories or dreams that I had when I was 7 years old. And these experiences happened in the dacha in Russia. And the dacha, to explain a little bit, is in Russia you would get like most people, I'm not sure if everyone did, but our family did for sure. You would get a plot of land and then you would clear it, clear the forest. It would be a small, maybe like a third of an acre, depending, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone exactly, but you would build your house there, and this was a way to subsidize food for the winter time. But mostly people didn't live there year round because of the harsh weather conditions. But it was just like a beautiful wild place that I grew up in, and we had our apartment in the city as well. So let me think what I want to say now. So yeah, these paintings are kind of like about a kind of a magical realism space where I'm not exactly sure if they were memories of a child or a dream that I had. But they are very connected with my grandmother and the time I spent at the dacha.